In Slovenia, we have a saying, 15 academic minutes. So basically, you're just 15 minutes late. Not 15, but few minutes for sure.
Okay. Well, in Andalusia, we have the same. People are always late, so...
Yeah, I heard of that. It's worse than in Slovenia, so okay. It's very interesting for me. Now I'm so used to doing Zooms, and I look in the phone. Hey, I look in my phone or my computer, and they're right there. And now there's a camera, and they're there, and you're here. And I'm like, okay, where do I look? Hello, Tadeya, and I guess that's Nate. Zoe is my dog. And our project also, but I don't think my dog just jumped on the Zoom. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Nets.
Lovely. Okay, so here I am.
I'm so excited. It's just a huge pleasure also to be doing this with you.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to start with the key question for today. Like going straight to the topic, which is, why is it important for us to stay and listen to what you'll be sharing today?
Okay, so why people would stay and listen? First of all, everybody's here because of themselves. Of course, my partner, my future husband is here because he has to be, but everybody else... So, no, I'm just kidding. I know he wants to be here. So we're going to talk about self-love and some other things that are connected to self-love. But if you are like me and you keep asking yourself, what self-love is? I mean, how do I really love myself? Because my story is, I always knew, I need to love myself more. Okay. And people were telling me, you just need to love yourself more and everything's going to be fine. I was like, okay, how do I do that? Okay. So they gave me checklist. You do this, you do that, you do this daily, or you wake up at that time and then you do this, or you read this book and then you follow these rules. And it was good. It definitely helped. I'm not saying that don't do that. Definitely do that because it helps to develop some habits that are very good, very useful.
Okay.
And at the same time, I still didn't see like this self-love somewhere in me. I was like, I must be broken. Something's wrong with me. Everybody's talking about self-love and it's so easy peasy and I'm doing this and that and I still don't see that I truly love myself. I don't feel peace in myself. I don't feel like, I do things for me. So what is going on? And I'm really broken. So do I need to fix myself? And then I realized that's the biggest lie I was telling myself. And with a lot of time and a lot of patience from different people, and with a lot of love from outside mostly, because I was missing the love inside, because when we as kids are not given the love that we're supposed to get, it's like the container of love that lives inside of us is just empty. So yes, sometimes we need to get some love from the outside, and this love should be unconditional. And this is why it's so important that you have a mentor, that you have a teacher, someone who sees you for who you truly are and loves you the way you are right now, but see your potential and gives you the love no matter if you're good or you're bad. You did this or you didn't, And with this process, I realized that self-love is really a journey. It's not a checklist. It's not to-do list. No, it's a journey where you understand yourself, where you feel yourself, where you put some of this love into your empty container, love container inside of you, and where you learn that you are not too little. You are too much of what you actually are not. So you let go of what you're not to find what you really are. So if this talks to you, you should definitely stay.
Wow, that's like a great opening, I think. And well, thank you for sharing about your story as well. I think that is so important. And yeah, I'm just, I'm a little bit amazed by everything. So you said something that got me really interested. You said, so I realized that I didn't love myself and I started doing all these procedures. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself? How were you growing up? How was it for you? And somehow, when and how did you realize that I don't think I love myself, or I don't think I'm happy with the way that I'm loving myself?
Yeah, for sure. So for me growing up, I had everything I had food, I have bed, a warm bed, I had clothes, so it was okay. What I was missing was love. Not like I was not loved at all, but my parents didn't love themselves truly. So, it's really hard to pour into someone else's glass if your glass is empty. And for sure, my mom's glass was very empty, and it was hard for her, but also for me. So I learned how to get a little bit of love from her, like, doing things that made her happy, or making things the way that gave everyone a sense of peace. So I learned that for me to be loved is conditional. So it's not, I'm not worthy of getting love just because I am. I have to do something for that. And this was my paradigm of love. This is how I perceive love, and I know many people do. So I just went for life, doing the same thing. So when it came to boys, I understood, okay, if I give them sex, they will love me. I didn't think of it. It was not like, this is the mathematical formula, this is how it works. No, but it's just how I was taught, what my very basic paradigm about love was. So it was not it was not a very healthy journey, It was always giving something to receive something, and always giving more than I would get back.
So like a transaction where you're always losing.
Yes, definitely. Or the relationship where there should not be any transaction in a way, you need to give me that, so I will give you this.
Oof, okay.
Definitely not with your parents, and definitely not with your lover or your partner. But someone would ask then, so why you didn't choose a man that would love you unconditionally, or would, didn't see you as a sex toy? Because I didn't know better. Because if I say that, let's say we are a computer or a phone, okay, a phone, and we have certain settings.
Yeah.
And the phone is acting according to the settings, right? So if this is my setting, this is how I'm gonna act or react. And this is also what kind of people I'm gonna attract. Because we match, we think we match, oh, I really like you, you're really sexy, oh, I love your butt. Yeah, in a way, yes. But honestly, we match with our pain, So I have this pain and you have this pain, and it's a great hook, so let's connect. So my pain was, not being, so I saw myself as someone that is not worthy of being loved just the way I am, not doing anything. So, of course, I always attracted men that, had another story that just made a hook with that. And they were acting that way because I actually, in a way, wanted them to. Because this is how I could see that my paradigm is right.
Okay.
So my paradigm, this is correct.
So at the end of the day, we act from what we know.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
what we learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that what was specifically for you your turning points where you were like, okay, this has been happening for so long? Because a lot of the times, I'm young, but I do know people who are older than me, maybe in their 40s, 50s, and they look back at their lives and they realize, wow, this wasn't working for me for the longest, and just now I'm realizing. So what was for you that moment where you realize, okay, this is not working, and I'm ready to change something about it?
Yeah, I think it was not like, just one timer. So nothing was happening and poof, and this is it. It was building, but for sure, when I was engaged
with your previous,
with my previous partner,
okay,
and at one point I realized, oh my God, he's an alcoholic, and he puts alcohol before me, and that I didn't want him to drink so much, so I tried everything. So I told him, let's make a deal so you drink only at weekends, or let's. And then I even wrote an agreement, for him to sign it. So whenever he's drunk, I can show him the paper. But the thing was, I always came back. Because I understood that I need to give something, to be loved. So I need to give him permission to be drunk, or I need to be nice to him and understand him that he needs that beer, So at one point, it was so bad that I was sleeping alone, and he was drinking and smoking weed and watching movies till 3 in the morning. And I would wake up at 7. I would, do my hour of power. Thank God for that. So I stayed motivated. And then I took out our dog, which was his dog, actually. And then I just went working. And he woke up, I don't know when. So at one point, I asked myself a very important question. Do I see myself living that way for another 5, 10, 15, 20 years? And I had to admit, I said no. And it was very helpful because I had friends that said to me, like one is here today, she said to me, we were sitting and I was again telling her the story about that partner I had.
Yeah.
And she said to me, do you know that you said to me a year ago that you're gonna leave him? I'm like, did I? So, and then I realized, okay, for things to change, I have to change. I also realized that all my exes were in some way the same. So it's definitely not him. It's me that I am attracting that kind of guys, and I am responsible for my life. It's not them, it's me. And it was not like a magical pill.
Yeah, magic wand.
Yeah.
Boom!
Yeah, no, definitely
Fixed.
not. No, I actually was thinking many times to I had this feeling, oh, I need to go back to him. I felt guilty, you know. But this is just the whole story about the paradigm that I'm not worthy of being loved just the way I am, you know, unconditionally, or that I need to sacrifice something to be loved. So it was a very hard journey. It was like a roller coaster. But what helped me was I had mentors.
Okay.
You know, and I really cannot tell you how important this is for me, because when you have someone that sees through you, through your masks, through your, you know, acting from your paradigm, who sees you as a pure soul, as you are, and just gives you this love that sometimes is really tough love. You know, one client gave me a T-shirt. It says, "Hate me now, love me later." So, but this is what I needed, and I think many people do. And it's so much easier when you have someone who says to you, "Okay, give me your hand. I know you don't see there's a step, and you think you're gonna fall, but there's a step. I'm guaranteeing you. So let's step together. It's okay." So this was the changing point in my life, letting people support me. You know?
Wow, that's a big one. That's a really big one. So before that in your life, you're like, I can do this by myself.
Yeah,
I'm guessing I
everything.
can do it alone. I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
Looking here, because I know maybe someone will feel that way too. I am also from that team, but I'm learning to know we don't need to do everything alone. We can be accepting of support.
Yes.
Not from anyone maybe, but from people who, as you said, truly see you.
Yeah, where you feel safe. That's a very important thing, you know. If you don't feel safe, of course you're not gonna open it up or let them support you. You know? And if that's an issue for someone, like it was for me, you know, trusting people, of course you're gonna do everything on your own, you know. That's the best way to survive.
Yep. Right. So how important is it to feel safe, to find that person, that community where you feel embraced?
Yeah, I think that's a basic need for every human being, feeling safe, you know, because there was a time when if you were not accepted in the community, you died. Right now, you would probably not die, right? But it feels the same way.
Yes, like social, what's the word?
Acceptance?
The opposite, when you're like left aside completely. Social isolation, something like that.
Okay, yeah, that would be a good word.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool, yeah. I went through that as a kid. I was socially isolated very much. So for me, I was always, you know, I didn't get people, to be honest.
Yeah.
I had to learn that. But when I was a kid, I didn't understand why kids are mean. How can you tell someone something that hurts? And then once I was like, okay, now I'm gonna give you back, you know, what you deserve. And I tried to say it to her, and my stomach hurt so much while I was trying to say that I didn't.
Wow.
So I really couldn't be mean. And then I remembered this in my head. I said to myself, it's okay, you know? Now you're a child, so you're with kids that are just stupid, you know, and that's why they act like that. But when you grow up, you're gonna be with adults, and I'm sure they are not like that. And then I grew up. So, yeah, for sure, being accepted is very important, but honestly, it doesn't help until you don't truly accept yourself. And I always say to women that I work with, one-on-one or in groups, how it's in the inside, this is how it's going to be on the outside.
Yeah.
So when you accept yourself truly and fully, people will accept you for who you are, and the ones that maybe wouldn't, they will not even be on your radar. So, it's how it's inside, that's how it is on the outside.
That's right. It's a mirror in the end, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you said that you arrived to this point where you realize, I don't want to be with this person anymore. What did you do in that moment? Because your conception of love was sacrifice, was I need to give it all for the relationship, was I just give without needing anything in return. And I get how that's not like a transactional way, but like when you love someone, you don't want to ask for anything in return, but at the same time, it's like, no, it's something reciprocal. So after this incident, this moment where you realize, okay, it's the moment for change, what do you do then? How does your paradigm shift from need and I have to give and it's conditional to where you are right now, where it's like, it's
a journey.
It's a journey, definitely.
So first thing I did something physical, something tangible, something that really changed your surrounding. So I moved out.
Okay.
So it was really hard because we were living in a house and we had a dog, but the papers of the dog were on his name, so I couldn't take the dog. And the dog was used to the house, and I moved to this tiny apartment that was like a square, and it has the kitchen, the bed, the toilet, the shower, all in one room, basically. It was just separated.
Wow.
So, but I was relieved. Okay. And then, of course, my biggest problem was letting go of the dog.
Okay.
I didn't care anymore really about him. There were some trigger points of guilt, yes, but my problem was the dog. I love the dog so much, and the animals love you unconditionally, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I kept going back, like just to see the dog, just to take the dog out. And every time I went there, I felt like crap because he gave me crap. Like, oh, you screwed me over. All you did was take care of your own ass. This is what the saying we have in Slovenia. And so on and so on. And at one point, and this is maybe also for you listening, it's not all easy and simple and the flow goes and everything. I just follow the flow. No, sometimes you have to make hard decisions. And here was one for me. Or I stay because of the dog and I feel like shit. Or I let go of the dog because I knew that he's gonna take good care of the dog. That was that was the point. But still, saying goodbye completely to the dog and knowing that I will never see the dog again. But being able to live and breathe, to completely left him behind. Because he was, using me as someone who would feel guilty for doing things that were his job, actually. So he would take no responsibility, and he was just. I was like a threshold, So you just like trash. You just put everything there. And so at one point I had to take this decision, a hard decision. So do I go hard, or do I go super hard and just not following my own heart? So that was the first thing. I had to let go of the dog, which I loved very much, and he's still in my heart, to be able to survive. Not like physically, but emotionally, energetically. And I had to be very uncomfortable, you know. I moved from house to this square apartment where I couldn't sleep because, you know, everything was in the same room. And then there was another thing. We had a business together. So the business he started, but almost lost it. And then I rebuilt the business.
Okay.
But in his mind, of course, because
still
he wasn't a giver like me, he was like, okay, you know, it's actually mine, but we can split it 50-50, you know. And I was still so much in that pain, you know. So I am not worthy of being loved for who I am, so I need to give more than I get. And that was the turning point. It took me 1 year, by the way, a little bit more than 1 year.
Okay.
And after 1 year, I said, okay, that's enough. I was actually taking the money from the business physically and giving it to him. Like every month, I would take the money to him, you know, because of course he was not self-employed, so I could not just send him the money through the bank. So somehow I arranged that maybe somebody else gives him the money and so on, so I didn't need to see him, but still. After a year, I said, that's enough. No, that's enough. I'm splitting the business legally because he didn't want that, because then he needed to pay taxes, right? So again, not taking the responsibility. I should take the whole responsibility, right? And and then we fought, but I stand my ground, and we did the thing legally.
Nice.
And that was the turning point, you know, standing up for myself the first time in my life. So yeah, that's where it started. And then I also stopped drinking, you know.
Because you were drinking with
him, definitely, yeah. But even when we were together, I was drinking less and less, so I realized, okay, this is not good. And when I stopped seeing him, I stopped drinking. I mean, I would still drink a glass of wine,
every now and
but
then. Okay.
not drinking for fun and getting drunk so you forget your emotions. So I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. I stopped buying things, you know, that are just cheap thrills. So using money for cheap thrills, I stopped that, and I started investing that money into mentors, coaching, seminars, and just I went to the places where people who were there had what I wanted to have. You know, so like I wanted to have financial freedom. So I would go to seminars and places where people had that financial freedom. Did I thought they are stupid? Yes, sometimes I did. Like, who do you think you are? No. And like, oh, people who have money, they must stole it, you know, or they are just snobs or whatever, you know. So, and then I'm like, okay, just stop it, you know, stop it. Look at them. They're nice to you, so they're nice people, and they have money. So maybe it's possible to have money and be a nice person. You don't need to be broke to be a nice person.
That's
right. You know, you can be even better person when you have money, because money just brings out more of who you truly are.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me you're a nice person, get more money and show me how big of a nice person you are.
Yes, and share with the world. I mean, the more you have, the more you can share from the overflow, right?
Exactly. So this was the journey, and then different mentors and different seminars. And every time I thought, oh, I don't have that money. And then I took the leap. So I was just feeling faithful, you know. And every time I spent the money came in a way, in some way, because I spent the money for something really good, something that my soul actually wanted, you know, not just my ego or just my head. So, yeah, I just went on and on and on. And it was not all nice and shiny. It was like a roller coaster, you know. But having someone that believes in you really helps. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
No? Prego, Zailu.
Can you just,
Yeah. I'm
Marita,
gonna
okay,
mute
maybe.
first. Now we're not silence. Okay.
Okay, we're good. Good, good, good.
Okay. So from what you're sharing, I'm getting three really important things, which is one, surround yourself with people that believe in you, that love you unconditionally, and have had their own journey in the area that you want to develop yourself in.
Exactly.
Great. So I actually wrote a question from one of the things that you shared before. You were sharing that we love from our pain. Rephrased. It isn't exactly that,
Yeah.
but something quite similar. Like, yeah, it's like you're one person, I'm one person. You have this pain, I have this pain, and we match through our pains.
Great match.
Yeah. So, me myself, I'm really curious about that, and I think many of you may be as well. So, how can I identify that pain, or what could be a starting point to start to find in myself what's that pain?
So I hear many times, especially women, they say, okay, so then first I need to fix myself and then I can go into a relationship.
That's me.
But actually, the relationship is the best therapy you will ever get for your pain. So what is so it's I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it's not very likely that you're going to completely, as someone says, fix yourself. So you're going to be without those triggers and pain, and then you're going to go and you're going to marry someone. It's probably not going to happen.
I mean, maybe it can happen.
Yeah. Well, you can try and then let me know.
Let you know.
And it's really beautiful you will always meet a partner that is where you actually are currently. You know, I was complaining so much about my ex because he was cheating on me. Okay, so I was like, but what did I do to get a man that cheated on me, you know? And then when I was able to look at myself truly and deeply, I realized I was actually cheating on him too. You know, I went out, let's say to dance, and I was enjoying someone else, you know, to look at me and say with his eyes that I'm sexy, you know, and or just flirting with someone. No, but I didn't. But yes, actually you did, you know. Or let's say watching porn. You know, those are all different ways of what we call cheating. You know, so I realized, oh my God, you know, of course I attracted that guy, you know, we were actually the same, just we were both wearing socks, but just different colors.
Wow.
Can you check, maybe do we have a question there? Just
Yes.
down there?
Nice. She's saying, Dear Ola, you're amazing. You have such a beautiful energy, natural, playful, wise, and grounded.
Thank you so much,
That's-
Tadea. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. So are you, my lovely ladies, all of you. Amazing. And, you know, so I was there, and I was not I'm not going to say I was a bad person, you know. And then I realized, well, maybe he wasn't a bad person also. He just was as he was. No, but we matched, you know. And we are really good as people to point fingers.
Yeah.
He did that to me. He is like this, you know. But they say, as many fingers as you are pointing at others, as many fingers you should be pointing at yourself. So, you know, just, yeah, that's also part of self-love. Really discovering what are your missing points, where you stand, what you're doing. And so the question for me was, okay, so I was in a way cheating on him. Okay, so why did I do that? Why? Well, because I was feeling the lack of love and acknowledgement from him. And it's not that it's his fault. It's just as it was. This is how it was. You know, I didn't know myself. I didn't feel myself. I didn't understand myself. But if I would see, you know, like in my relationship now, I can say to him, like, you know, I'm really missing hugs from you. You know, but I know myself. I understand myself. So I can say that to him. And he is where we are right now. So he also listens, and he might be triggered sometimes, like, you know.
Yeah.
But he listens and he thinks about it, and then he will do it, or we will talk more about it. But in my previous relationships, I just, you know, it was as it was. Because I didn't know myself, he didn't know himself. But we met at that point, not knowing ourselves. And through that relationship, at least for me, it was healing relationship because I was able to start to know myself. Yes, it was very painful for my ego and, you know, for my mind. And it was the best therapy I could get. You know, realizing that I am doing the same thing, just in different colors. And for me, changing that gave me the partner I have today. I had to change that to be able to match with someone who also, you know, went over that or don't have that, let's say, you know, doesn't have that. So, yeah, we will always meet a partner that's on the same frequency as we are. It's like listening to the radio, you know?
Yeah.
If you choose the frequency, you're gonna listen this, or you choose the other frequency, you're gonna listen to this. So you just need to change the frequency. It's not that simple, but
it's better said than done. But okay. So instead of pointing upwards, those same arrows, if we turn them around, maybe they're signaling something that it's missing on us. So as you said, yo, why is he cheating on me? You realize, oh, I am cheating also. You were cheating because you didn't feel loved in the way that you needed to feel loved.
Yes, exactly. And here we come to the very important part of self-love, is understanding oneself, you know, and feeling yourself, which is very hard when you're bombarded from all the medias, the junk food, the alcohol, everything. And in the partnership, in the relationship, communication, you know, honest communication. But again, if I'm not able to be honest with myself,
how can I be honest?
Yes, and maybe I'm not doing it intentionally, you know, not with myself, not with him. So my suggestion, what I also did and what I suggest to women I work with, start with yourself. Save yourself and you're gonna save the world. And many times we try to save others or to change others and nothing happens. We are maybe even more in pain than before. I was trying to change my ex not being alcoholic. And more that I tried to change it, more I was crying. And then I realized, okay, I need to change myself.
You know what, just the visuals, you know, when you get on a plane and they start explaining everything, they say, if anything happens, you're gonna get the mask. But before helping anyone, you put it to yourself. Even if you have a kid, you put it to yourself. Why? If anything happens, there's a breakage of air. While you're helping your kid, you run out of air. Both of you are out. So if you take the oxygen mask first, then you can support in everyone. You first love yourself, support yourself, and then you're actually able to be for the rest.
If you're dying, it's very hard.
Indeed.
And there are many people who are not dead yet, but they are already dying, you know, and they're dying like it's their last day, their whole life. It's so much better to live as it is your last day, your whole life. So basically, you ask me what was the turning point to get to self-love, to actually use this word, self-love, to realize, oh, I need more self-love, or oh, I don't love myself in the right way. I realized it the day that I realized that if my mom would have the support, a mentor, someone who would believe in her, who would see her for who she really is, she would be able to heal herself, to love herself more, and I would have a different childhood. And I am not resentful towards her for that. I'm actually grateful, because she showed me this. She showed me what women in this world need. They need someone who accept their pain, who accept maybe even them crying, yelling, you know, being where they at that moment, and still love them for who they are and show them the path. And this is why I was able to develop first Girl Power brand and then Powerlady brand, and being able to coach all those amazing women, you know, and meet you and so on. So I'm very, very, I can blame my mother very efficiently. And I really can blame her for not being able to completely love me, because she didn't love herself, and give me the option to see how important that is, and to give me the strength to dig deep into this knowledge, this idea of self-love. Because otherwise I would probably just stay a coach, a trainer, you know, a rehab trainer, which was amazing, by the way. I love that work. And I now understand why God or universe or whatever you want to call it gave me the mother, or why I choose the mother, the family that I choose. And what big blessing this is.
Wow.
And I know that every one of you ladies, and men of course, but mostly I talk to ladies, and with ladies, I coach ladies, have a special blessing, a special thing, a special purpose in this life. And I know some of you found it already, and you're amazing. And for those who think or feel they didn't, I know and I'm sure you will. But it's so much easier to find it with the support of amazing women, this kind of community, who believes in you, you know, who believes you have superpowers. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I just keep coming back to how important is it to be in a community, to have that someone that really sees you as you truly are, and that just accepts you. And another question just popped into my head, because there's a lot of people that don't have that, or just don't know where to even start to look at.
Yeah.
What would you say to that people, to those persons, to that women?
Well, I can start from my own story. So, because one of my paradigm was, again, from the childhood, because my mother was a feminine, female figure, right? For me, like a goddess, basically. As when you're a child, you have a god and a goddess, mother and father and mother. And I felt like she didn't love me. So she didn't like me. And this is how I developed the paradigm, women don't like me. And this is why I spent most of my time with guys. I even trained a very masculine sport, which was kickboxing and boxing, and then jiu-jitsu and so on. So, I was trying to avoid women as much as possible because, of course, I had proof for that. This was my basic paradigm. So, of course, I lived through that paradigm. I looked through that glasses. Women don't love me, they don't like me, and I got proofs for that, many of them. So I said, fuck you, sorry for the language, but that's how it was. And then when I was 21 and I stopped my sport career, like doing it half professionally, I realized that I felt that something is wrong there. I want to change that. And I had this feeling that I need to do something that I really don't want to do. So what I did, and I didn't know any of groups, it was like 15 years ago, 14 years ago, and it was not so popular as today. So I was like, okay, so I need to start my own women's group. And what do I do good so I can offer to them? So I started 3 months. Free training for women, like functional training for women. And I had 50 women there to manage and to be with them. And every time I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, But in that 3 months, I realized they don't hate me. That was just a paradigm. And then after 3 months, and of course, it was for free. That's why they were there. It was for free, so they hate me, but it was for free, so they were there. After 3 months, I said to them, look, now it's gonna be, autumn, so it's gonna get colder, and we need a place to train, so you will need to pay. And like 50% of them went with me. And I realized, okay, they don't hate me. They like me. They actually cheer for me sometimes even. They say something good about me. Okay, maybe I was not right. Maybe I was wrong. And this is how I developed a business out of it. It was called Girl Power. And it was just like a boxing for women and self-defense for women and functional workout and clothing collection. And that was actually my first community that I built because I wanted to do something I love, and I didn't know any community that was doing that. And maybe I was also too afraid to look for one, and I knew that I needed. So what you can do, first thing, you can start your own little community around something that you love. If you like, walking dogs, you can just arrange some women walking dogs together. Or you like knitting, so you do that. And there's always a way. And if you would like to join some community, there are many communities online now. So for sure, if you look up in Google, you will find something. And of course, if you're a woman watching this, you are always welcome to join our community. It's all about love, and you will be for sure accepted the way you are. And we will see your potential. So there will be some tough love also, as you know. But always, always loving and supporting. So yeah, I think that answers your question.
It does.
Okay,
It does.
great.
Okay, beautiful. That was so good. I just let me look at this again. You know, sometimes when you are so present that you're here and
Everything disappears.
yeah,
This is how I feel.
a little bit.
That's good. Good. That's good. Let's just check the timing because I
Yeah,
also
I saw
have no
before.
idea.
Okay, so it's
we
4:08.
have 15 more minutes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, great. So you asked me a question actually that I would like to maybe remind you of.
Yeah.
So we were talking. Yeah, self-love is connected to intimacy.
Yes.
And then to sexuality or eroticism and sensuality. And you asked me about sexual desire. No, how did you ask me?
Sexual fantasies.
Yeah, sexual fantasies. And you said, no, where do they come from? You know, what's, and it's such a taboo also, and it's not at the same time. So everybody's doing it and everybody knows they're doing it, but it's a taboo. And then it's just, it's a whole mess.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. It's like, I think everybody has sexual fantasies.
Yes.
But we don't talk about them because sometimes they're like, sorry for the bad word, they're a little bit fucked up. They are. But at the same time, it's like, okay, where do they come from? Like, why do we have these weird sexual fantasies?
Yes.
Like,
yes. And so we talked a bit about it, but I will just say it again. So they come from wishes, some from soul wishes, from basic, very pure wishes. So there's a movie, it's a cartoon called A Wish, The Wish, or something like that, or just Wish. And I really, if you have time, just watch it. And it's about an island where there's a king or a magician who takes people's wishes and just, put them in a tower so they forget about them. It's a very interesting movie. And he says that, having a wish is bad because then you're miserable. Because if it doesn't come true, you're miserable. So he better takes it away. So, you're happy. You're happy all your whole life. So that's the point. And behind that, it actually answered that question. So we have a basic wish, which could be, you want to be fully loved and appreciated by a man, by a masculine energy. And that's a very beautiful, pure wish, right? Okay. And then, first of all, nobody talks about it, so you don't know how to fulfill it. And when you're a kid and you already have this wish actually in you, and you touch a boy or you kiss a boy or something, and then a grown-up come and don't do that, what you're doing, and then you push down this wish because and you put shame on it and blame on it, so it's not good. So this is how this wish gets colored. And at the end, this wish can come out as a fantasy that is, you being raped by a man. Because the idea is you are fully just, being overflown by this masculine energy. It's a beautiful wish. And because there is so much shame and blame and the ideas from the media and the movies and the porn industry that just, are just trapped there, and the wish is trapped inside, this wish is just turned into something that it's not. And they made a study, and there are like a huge percentage of women that have sexual fantasy of being raped. And of course they don't want to talk about it because it, as you said, it is effed up in a way. But actually, there is just so much pain in that woman. And the wish by itself is very beautiful. And for me, I can say for myself, I had that wish, and it was so, let's say colored, which is a nice word, that I didn't even know about that wish, and I didn't understand that, but I keep getting men that were violent in sex, that as a teenager I was raped. I had a partner that was my long-term partner, and he raped me in our relationship. And I didn't understand why I keep, on one point I thought that I'm a bad person and I need to, to have all these experiences to level out some karma or something. But later I realized it was this wish that was colored that was making that happen. So how it's inside, that's how it's outside. And when I was working around the shame and the blame and my sensuality and how bad I feel around it, and the exercise with the fruit and so on. And some of you know what I'm talking about. And it took years. But today, I don't have that wish anymore. I have a wish that is very pure. I want to be with one man, and that's my future husband, and I want to make love to him. I don't want any weird things, like how people call them weird, so like painful things or aggression or anything like that. I just want to be overflown by his love and how he sees me as this goddess as I am. And I know that every woman has in her this wish. It just turned out differently with the colors that life and ideas gave her.
Okay.
So, and I can say also one for men if you're interested. So there's let's say a foot fetish. Okay, that's where where this comes from, right? And normally guys have it. And it comes from the basic wish is complete and fully being able to worship their own woman.
Wow.
You know how they worship goddesses or women gurus in India? They would kiss their legs, right?
Oh, I
their
didn't know that.
feet.
Okay.
Yeah, they would go, they would wash their feet, they would kiss their feet, they would touch their feet. And the basic wish comes from here. Wow. And then it just gets colored normally by pornography and the shame and how things man needs to be strong, and they just need to take the woman and definitely not kiss her feet and wash her feet. So that would be my short answer. Now I could talk about it much more longer, but I think that gives you the idea of sexual fantasies.
It definitely brought a lot of light to what is it and where it comes from. So yeah, thank you for that.
So definitely don't push them down, because they get more colored then. So you don't want that. Let them be, and you should just see them, explore them, see the layers they have, and with the community of women having similar situations, it's much easier for sure. Because we all have, we all do, truly.
Okay. Wow. I think we touched various aspects and really indulged into them. So, thank you for this open conversation.
You're welcome. It was very fulfilling, for sure. So I look forward to many more podcasts.
Definitely.
Where we will be able to go in even deeper in certain subjects or areas of self-love. And I thank you for the initiation. And I thank everyone that's today with us on the Zoom. I hope you got some good ideas or just some good time out of it. I see there are some comments. So are you going to read it?
Yes, I
Sit
will read them
closer.
for you. Okay. Okay, so that's just what I was going to say. If you have any questions, I think we can maybe have a couple minutes. If you feel like you need to ask something, or if you have any questions, feel free to share them. And
We'll take one or two because then we are out of time.
Okay, perfect. Then I'm gonna go with this I saw here. So Karina says, Ula, what would you say is the biggest challenge women our age, millennials, are facing?
I would say, I cannot say what is the biggest challenge because I didn't do the research, but I can definitely say what I see in myself and in women I work with. And the challenge is we were never taught how to love ourselves. We were taught to be hard workers, to be good girls. Be a good girl and you will get this. Work hard and you will have a nice life. So I think the biggest challenge is giving ourselves credit first for everything we did already, everything we have overcome, and be able to slow down and to look into ourselves and give ourselves permission to do that. So I think that's the biggest challenge, to be able to give yourself credit and give yourself permission to now, stop, to slow down, and to put yourself first. Because at least in my culture, if you put yourself first as a woman, you are a bad mother, you are a bad wife, you are a bad daughter. So I think that's the biggest challenge, to give yourself permission, to be brave enough to put yourself first. And again, I'm going to say, it's so much easier with other women who are doing the same.
Absolutely.
So, that would be my question.
Great. Okay, let's see. Okay. Ivica says, we are blessed that we have Ula in our community. There we have safe space, light, love, and support.
Thank you, Ivica.
Amazing what you're sharing. Even hearing this again and again, it is so amazing hearing you talk about it in a different way than a month ago. Yes, that's from Zoe. That's one of the best explanations of sexual fantasies I have ever heard.
Okay, so this is my partner, my future husband, saying that, and thank you very much, because he was a coach and he was exploring not sexual fantasies, but he was exploring esoterics for 15 years. So having that compliment from you, thank you very much.
Okay, Karina says, thank you so much, Ula and Nayna. I can't wait to listen to the whole podcast.
Thank you, Karina.
Karina.
So that's it for today. What is your biggest takeaway from today?
I think reminding the importance of just having that community of people that get you for who you are, and to not feel shame or feel bad for putting myself first. I think that's also really important.
Amazing. Okay, dear ladies and men, we invite you to practice until the next podcast or even longer to put yourself first. Maybe in a simple situations first. To maybe give yourself a bigger piece of cake when you're sharing with someone. So yeah, thank you again so much. You are amazing. I'm so blessed. I have my future husband who met you and connected us. So thank you for that, darling. And I cannot wait to see what we discover, what we build together. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I feel like so grateful in I don't know, your light. I just see light and love. That's who you are.
Thank you. As we all are, you know. Sometimes it's just a little bit colored. So bring your brushes next time, okay? Okay, love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.